What's up, guys? Fellow Claptrap here. I apologize for my long absence. My I've been playing basketball. My team made a championship. The game's coming up this weekend. Wish me good luck. And also, I've been trying to concentrate on my physics and other things like that. So that would explain the lack of content recently. But I've still been trying to respond to your guys' comments when I see them and stuff. But today I'm gonna bring you a just entirely kind of out of blue new video because I just want to expose this hidden gem to you that is the original Witcher. And I know a ton of you guys are gonna be like, "Oh, Clap. I know The Witcher. I played The Witcher 2, The Witcher 3. They were great. They were great games. But The Witcher 1, not many people have played because mainly it was only an exclusive to Windows and Mac. So only PC gamers or Mac gamers, I guess you could say too, had access to it. But I mean, I have a lot of PC gamer friends. Most of my kids I game with are PC gamers, and maybe one, maybe two of my friends have ever played it, and I wouldn't have played it unless one of my very close friends recommended it to me. But I gotta tell you, this game is phenomenal, and I'm gonna start talking about the combat. As you can see, I got some combat playing in the background. As you can see, it's very janky. I guess would be the right word. Very clunky, very janky. It's very odd. It reminds me a lot of Morrowind, kind of turn-based, but it's not really turn-based. It's odd, but it's effective. And if you learn how to use it can be really fun. You might think it's easy, but then it is easy fighting certain enemies if you know the right combat styles and whatnot. But you also have to incorporate signs, which is basically magic if you know the Witcher universe. But you have to incorporate alchemy into your fighting. Very I know I'm not showing it here. Like I'm not really using any potions here because I'm just fighting some drowners and whatnot. But like when you fight bigger, stronger enemies, and when you fight bosses, like you have to put Kiki more warriors. You got to put the insectoid oil blade coating on, or you're done. Or you got to drink some swallow before a big fight, or you're gonna be done. And you just need to utilize this alchemy to your advantage if you want to succeed in the combat in The Witcher. And I mean, I know the combat's a big thing that deterred a lot of people from playing The Witcher, but personally, I think once you learn it, it's great. And once you it might not seem deep, but the way that alchemy, especially, but also science, are incorporated into it is it's very great, and it can end up being almost, I'd say, better than some of the Skyrim type games where it's just kind of mashing a button for combat. And also, the character development is very extensive, as you can see here. There's just so many, so many different different perks and things like that. And it's I think it's very unique how these like the silver, bronze, and gold talents, and you obviously get bronze ones easier and more often than you get silver and gold ones. And it's kind of interesting how how once you get up to these upper tiers, I mean, you might only get one gold talent or one silver talent or whatever. So yeah, you can distribute the bronze and get really decent at everything, but I mean, you really have to pick what you're gonna specialize in, and what's gonna be your forte with these talents. I think it's really unique, and it reminds me almost of like a Dark Souls kind of, but in Dark Souls you kind of can just farm souls and get as many of dexterity or whatever you want, where in The Witcher it's very limited. But by limited, I mean limited in a good way, as it makes you really have to think about your character development, and it really makes every character unique and every build unique. And the dialogue in this game, because it's obviously a role-playing game, it has to be dialogue. It's not the greatest. I mean, I definitely take Fallout New Vegas, Skyrim dialogue over it, but I'd say it's comparable to those games. It's comparable to a Fallout 3. I think it's very similar to like a Mass Effect almost. Maybe Fallout 4 in a sense, not quite. I think Fallout 4 still has a little bit more to offer than The Witcher 1 does. But I mean, you oftentimes there aren't many choices to be in dialogue, but there's tons of dialogue choices. Geralt is fully voiced. He's an amazing main character. He's phenomenal. There's like every pretty much I don't think there's any NPCs that aren't voiced that you can have conversations with, and there's many different NPCs you can have conversations with. Now, like innkeepers, you can't really talk to about local work and stuff, but it's I mean there's still plenty of characters throughout the game that you can have these in-depth, interesting conversations with. So I mean I want to say it's like a Skyrim or like a Fallout New Vegas where it's like that good, but you could say you could compare it to the Fallout 3s, compare it to the Mass Effects, um, if you understand what I'm saying. And the content in this game is just so expansive. Um, as far as just I mean, there are a lot of fetch quests, which are the contracts where you say, Velerad tells you to go kill 10 Kikimores, bring me back the claws. You go kill 10 Kikimores, harvest the claws, bring it back to him. But there's also some very in-depth, I guess you could say, quests, side quests that add a lot of depth to the universe, such as I'm drawing a blank on the name of the quest at the moment, but there's one quest where you meet a knight of the Order of the Flaming Rose, which is a faction in the game. If you'll get to it, um, who's believes his sister has become a vampire. And spoiler alert. So on a at countdown from five, then you'll see the spoiler: 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Well, anyway, so you have to investigate, and then you discover that his sister has she's actually escaped to a brothel run by vampires where she has become a vampire, and and then at the end you have three choices in this quest. You can um, kill the vampires and save her from the vampires. You can kill her brother in the order and kind of keep them alive, keep the vampires alive, or you can kill both of them and just leave the sister to do her own thing. And there's really, I mean, besides the third one's kind of wrong, there's almost no right choice because I mean, if you kill the vampires, yes, you're a witcher. You're supposed to slay monsters. That's a noble thing, and you're helping this guy get his sister back. But then at the same time, you hurt the sister, and she's very angry at you. But then, if you let the vampires live and kill the brother, you just killed an innocent man, a ton of innocent men who were trying to nobly fight against evil. Vampires are evil. So there's like, it's very good. There's a lot of quests like that, and also like there's no right answer. There is absolutely no right answer in the story. I'm not gonna really spoil. I'm gonna try to keep spoilers out of it. I just got one more example. Um, at some point there's a conflict between the Scoia'tael, which is like non-human freedom fighters, kind of guerrilla warfare tactics, and the Order of the Flaming Rose, which are humans, like very established. Um, your typical like knights fighting for the noble good and whatnot. And it's very hard to pick a side in this conflict because the Scoia'tael you sympathize with because you're a non-human. You can see how they're abused by the Order of the Flaming Rose and the humans, but at the same time you can see the Order of the Flaming Rose's perspective because the Scoia'tael are basically terrorists in some of their actions, just killing innocent civilians for no reason, no rhyme or reason, and things like that, and just sneak attacks, ambushes. So like you can see both perspectives, and it's a very hard choice to make, which is something I think you don't see in a lot of games. I would compare this to like New Vegas, where you got to choose between the NCR, the Legion, and whatnot. But it's deeper than that. There's like in New Vegas, it almost seems like the Legion is objectively bad. Like it's hard to make this decision. Like there's really no right decision in this Witcher game, and there's I mean, and this is present in the Witcher series, but like this is where it started. There's no right choice in this, which I think is great because it really makes you think, and it really makes me want to play through the game twice. So I can see both sides of the conflict. But the massive amounts of content don't end at the side quests either. Uh, the mini games in this game are absolutely phenomenal. Uh, Dice poker is like I know Gwent from The Witcher 3 is great. I know that's great. I think is cool too. But there's fighting in bars, which is kind of just button mashing you bet on. But I think dice poker is, oh my god, it's phenomenal. It's literally you played poker with dice against people and you bet some money on it, and it's great. Uh, And it reminds me a lot of like Caravan from New Vegas, kind of, where it's like you just play with random people and you got to get better to play better people and things like that. And I just think it adds a new layer of like depth and immersion into the Witcher games, especially this one. And I would be remiss if I forgot the awesome fist fighting mini game that is in this game, where you can go around to the inns and pubs around in the game and basically fight people. As you can see, the background, you fist fight and bet money on it, and it just adds a new mechanic that adds more depth to this already great game. But this game obviously does have some flaws, such as like I aforementioned, the combat isn't very streamlined. Um, and another thing is technical issues. It doesn't run very well, but I like to keep that out of it because with a little tweaking, you can make it run well. Another issue this game has is that there's different, like you have like I think like four different slots, like two swords, a third weapon, and then a fourth like sidearm kind of thing. But the most people use a fourth spot for torch. But the thing is, you'll never use anything, especially the silver sword. You'll never use anything but the Witcher silver sword. Sometimes, like if you're lucky and you can find enough meteorites, you can forge a better sword than the Witcher steel sword for your steel sword. But like you'll never use anything but a sword in the game. You'll never use a mace or anything like that. Which is kind of boring. Doesn't really add the depth you want to the game. And there's also some signs in the game, I'm almost done with the game, and I only use Ard, NG, and that's about it. Sometimes, sometimes use Quen, I don't know how to say it, Quen, but like it's very rare that I use the other signs, if I ever do at all. I'm sure if you can incorporate, I'm sure people have incorporated it into the game, but it's very rare that people do this. So there's some things could be incorporated into the game better, but and the fetch quests, they're not as bad as another settlement needs your help, but they can get a bit tedious. But at the same time, everything is great about the game, all the aforementioned things. And I forgot to mention this, but the story, I'm not done yet, but the story is phenomenal with I'm not going to try to spoil anything here, but basically what happens is Salamandras, the secret order that killed your friend and we wiped you of your memory and attacked this tower and stuff and tried to kill your Triss, who's kind of like your girlfriend. And yeah, like basically trying to get back at the Salamandra, and along the way you meet new factions. And then the Order of the Flaming Rose and Scorto have a part in it too, and you have to kind of deal with that conflict. And it's very great. I wish another thing that's kind of a flaw. It's not quite an open world, I would say. It's more open area. I can't go like basically each chapter you unlock a new area, and you can go back to the previous chapter's areas. But if I'm in chapter 2, I can't go to chapter three's area. So the world gets bigger with each time. It's a rubber banding system. As I think Mr. Matty plays, I think he's the one who used that term, a rubber banding system, where as you progress, new areas will be unlocked. Think of Borderlands, kind of. It's not quite like Borderlands. Basically, all the areas will be unlocked usually, but you'll die from the enemies in this area. Where in The Witcher, they straight up won't be unlocked until you complete a certain point in the game. But other than that, like I think this game is phenomenal, and I think for like an old game, it's great. It's very reminiscent of like a Neverwinter and a kind of like Baldur's Gate esque party-based RPG. But at the same time, it's got like almost a modern spin I'd put on it. Like it's a Skyrim, Neverwinter, and Baldur's Gate all had a baby. You'd get The Witcher, and it's phenomenal with a phenomenal story. So, if you're on PC, it's a cheap game. Pick it up. Just please do. When it goes on sale, it's $1 on the Steam sale, so just pick it up. It is phenomenal. I've sunk, I think, like 56 hours in it or something like that, and I've only been playing for like maybe like 3-4 weeks. Yeah, 52 hours. It's a phenomenal game. You guys should all play it. So, anyways, let me know what you guys think about The Witcher if you've played it in the comments down below. And if you haven't, pick it up and let me know what you think about it. And I'll be more than happy to answer any questions you have about The Witcher in the comments down below. But my opinion is like, I don't want to give a number, but it's definitely one you should buy. It's worth your money for sure. Thank you guys for watching. Like and subscribe for more. Check out my Twitter, links below. I tweet a lot about Counter-Strike on there, trying to get giveaways and whatnot. I have 2 Twitter accounts, do it on both, just trying to get more odds for the giveaways. But, I'll probably be more active on there with YouTube related news stuff. And I'm gonna try to get back on here with my Borderlands What We Want list, and maybe some news updates if I hear anything about that. But yeah, I'm gonna try to upload more, guys. Sorry for the long wait. Basketball's coming to a close here, so I should have more time. But anyways, yeah, thank you guys for watching. Like and subscribe for more. If you dislike it, dislike it. That's cool. Check out my Twitter. And yeah, other than that, guys, just buy The Witcher. It's cool. And just follow Claptrap signing out.